Hello, and welcome to Dickinson's Real Deal. On this show, I help members of the public to get the very best price for their antiques and valuables. They get a choice. Sit down with one of our regular dealers. Now, they're going to make you a cash offer on the table today.
£300.
No, you're nowhere near. You're not even warm.
If I don't think that's enough money, I'm going to say that's no way, Jose. Don't accept that. Have a gamble. Go to auction and hopefully get a little bit more money there.
Hammers up then.
Today, the show comes to you from Bangor in North Wales. There's a great crowd of people here. They've been here since early this morning. You know why they're here. Why are they here? The real deal. They want to walk away, of course, with the real deal.
It's another exciting day for our dealers. Debbie Serple isn't hanging about. Her first deal is underway with Louis.
I'm hoping to get between 240 and 250. Hopefully.
Fingers crossed, Louis.
So, Louis, tell me what you've brought.
Well, I've brought a sovereign in its own case.
It's a little heart-shaped box.
Yeah.
So inside, which is even better, is a full 22-carat gold 1912 sovereign. And we know
yes.
that's 1912 because it says 1912 at the bottom. So, Louis, tell me how you came to be the owner of this.
Well, I'm not actually the owner. I'm selling it on behalf of my mother.
Right, OK. So you're wanting the best price you can possibly get for Mum.
Yes, please.
Right, well, the good news is all sovereigns are, for a start, 22-carat gold, and they're 7.98 grams, so they're just under 8 grams. So with very simple maths, I can work out instantly the full value of the sovereign on the day I buy it, if I'm lucky enough to buy it.
Yes.
But with the sovereign comes a little case. It's quite a sweet little thing. I like the fact that it's shaped in the form of a heart, but it's not the world's greatest case for a sovereign. So my focus is on the coin,
on the coin itself,
and its intrinsic value, which is good. Now's a good time to be selling them. So I'm going to put some money down.
Yeah.
You know how it goes.
I do.
And do let me know when you think I've given you far too much.
I will do.
Okay. 50. 100, 150, 170, 180.
I know what I'm looking for.
You know what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Am I far away?
Quite a bit, really.
Right. I will give you another 10. So that takes us to 190. I think that's pretty generous.
No,
Well, I think it's pretty generous, Louis, but when you consider probably the sovereign's worth about 220.
Yeah.
And we've got the case, which is a rather nice little case. They say 200, 220, 220, 260. So those are the independent valuers and the auctioneers. Could we have just a little bit more to tempt to say don't go to the auction? I think if you could do a little bit better, you could be within a midges of a deal.
So what smidgen of a deal might you be happy with?
Another 10 and I'd be happy.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Got a shake on that?
Yeah, we'll shake on 200.
We have a shake on that and I'll get my
Thank you
tenner
very
out.
much.
There we are.
Thank you.
£200.
That's lovely.
Thank you. He's got a good deal and I've got a little bit extra with the case. So I should make a small amount of profit and I'm very happy.
I did get the money I wanted, and I think she was very fair, despite what people say.
Oh dear, Debbie's got a bit of a reputation, but can she get a profit? Find out later. Across the den, Janice Kehoe has been joined by Adrian, who's on the lookout for a top deal.
I brought a Victorian telescope. Valuation of my own mind, I'm liking to think we're going to see £100.
What have you brought today?
I bought this telescope, which we've had for some 40 years plus from my parents.
Yeah.
It was grandparents before then.
Yeah.
I know it's old, I believe it's Victorian.
And
that's what we know.
Does it extend or...?
Yes, it does. It comes out into 3 sections here with the extension
At the extension
out
at the bottom.
to there.
There's not really a lot you can say about that.
It works.
It works. It's a telescope,
Yeah.
probably, at a guess, turn 19th, 20th century, do you think?
Yes, I've had it said that they believe it's Victorian, so to me that tells me I think it's
Yeah.
1850 to 1900.
Okay.
But,
Is there a connection with the sea, with your family?
no, other than my parents, particularly my mother, was very much into antiques, and
Right.
you know, this is where we have acquired some things,
This way.
including this over the years. Yeah.
Right. Well, it's a very interesting thing. It is a bit used,
A
shall
little
we
bit
say?
beveled at the end, yes.
But it's a Victorian telescope, and I shall put some money on the table and we'll see
Good.
what we can do. Right. 20, 40 pounds.
No, Janice, no, thank
No.
you. It's got to be more than that.
A lot more than that.
Quite a bit more than
Quite
that.
a bit
Yes.
more.
Yes.
Let's see. 60 pounds. Am I getting
Keep going,
closer?
you're warming, but we need to see a little bit more than that, please.
A little bit more than
Yeah.
that, right. I will put a little bit more on. Well, I'll go to £70. Now here's David to give you some advice. I see no ships.
I
Right, thank you, David.
I don't see enough money on this table.
Well, you would like to use a telescope?
Between 70 and 120 quid, both estimates, the lower part to the higher part. I think 70 is a little bit on the safe side for our dealer.
Yes.
I think it's probably worth another 15, 20 quid, something like that. Now, a little bird tells me that your partner is in the Navy.
He is,
Ah.
yes.
Well, I'm not going to say any more. It might well be that he needs one of these.
He's retired. I will put a little bit more up.
Yes, please, Janice, after
Okay.
that, thank you.
So, Adrian, if I take £10 away and put £20, do we have a deal?
We do, yeah,
Brilliant.
that's fine. Janice,
Thank you very much,
And
Adrian.
you.
Back to business in the den.
Hi Jane, I'm Mark.
Hi, Mark.
Mark Stevens is up next. He's been joined by Jane.
Well, there are 3 novelty vestas. Unfortunately, they're not silver. One's just a little bit different, so I might try and buy these.
Sounds promising. Good luck, Jane.
Tell me, are you a collector or have somebody passed them down to you?
They were my grandmother's, and she gave them to me when I was a very little girl, and I used to play with them. And my favourite was the elephant.
Well, they're quite quirky. They're unusual things. They're made of silver plate.
Yes.
I should think these were made between 1890 and 1920. But there's one slightly unusual one here, which I actually haven't seen before. And if we look at the bottle here, which if we open the top, is a Vesta case and you'd have had the matches inside.
Yes.
That would have been struck on the back here.
Yes.
But what we also have is this little...
A cigar. Is it cigar?
Yeah, it's for cutting the ends of cigars, which is quite unusual for a Vesta. It's something that you don't see that much, particularly in the plated Vestas. I mean, the plating has worn off. These do need to be replated. We have the nickel coming through on them. We have the elephant here, which is great, where the head comes off, and we have the striker on it, and we have the fish. And what I like about the fish, I just love. That was great. You open that. Nice mechanism. Mouth opens, out comes the match, and I would presume we would strike it actually on the fin. An unusual thing. If they were silver, we'd be talking a lot of money. Plated there is a major difference. Having said that, there still is a market for it. So really, I think the only thing left for me to do is to put some money on the table, Jane. How about that?
Yes, good idea.
Good idea. Let's see what we got. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100 pounds.
What's your next offer?
What's my next offer? 120 pounds.
No.
130 pounds, Jane.
No.
No? Right, well, I'll tell you what, we're kind of coming to the end for me. I'm going to take away the £10 and I'm going to put another 20 down, so we've got £140 on the table now.
If you put the tenner back, we have a deal.
You're pushing me right to the wire here. You know exactly what they're worth. Go on, OK. You've pushed me all the way. Thank you very much indeed, Jane. Thank you. Thank
Nice
you.
meeting you.
You struck top estimate there, Jane. Coming up, great provenance for a famous name.
It was given to my father-in-law, who's an artist anyway, who knew Lowry. Have you got enough money in there?
Have I got enough money?
We'll find out after the break.
Borada, and welcome back to Dickinson's Real Deal from North Wales.
Plenty of deals going down in the den here in Bangor. James Late's on parade. He's been joined by Pat.
So you brought along some medals, yeah?
I have.
And I'm guessing they're family heirlooms?
Sort of, yes.
Yeah. And this is the lucky winner?
Yes, that's James.
No
Jim,
death,
as he was known.
no death plaque, so he obviously survived the war.
He did, yes.
What's his story? What's the relationship?
He was married to my aunt.
Yeah.
Yes.
What regiment was he in?
I've no idea.
Well, shall I tell you?
Oh, I'd love to know.
By
Do
magic,
you know?
I can tell you, yeah.
Oh, right.
By looking at here, his name was Sergeant Bryce, Sergeant J. Bryce, and he's in the Royal Artillery.
Oh, it was the Royal Artillery.
Yeah.
Was it?
So everyone who survived the First World War got these 2 victory medals.
Right.
1 silver, 1 bronze. And I see on his photograph, he's wearing these insignias here, which is also the insignia of the Royal Artillery.
Right.
So he was a gunner. And these are meant to be grenades.
Oh, is that what they
They're
are?
sort of flaming grenades.
Ah, didn't realise.
So those are obviously his. Now that badge is Royal Engineers, so may not have anything to do with him.
Right.
And this is presumably some kind of sharpshooting badge.
I see.
So he may have been a good shot as well.
It's just that I found these with the
So
medals.
you inherited them?
Yes.
Sort of kind of collaterally, really?
Yes.
So they don't really mean much to you?
No.
I always try and encourage people not to sell medals because it's kind of a little piece of family history which,
Yes, yeah.
once it's sold, that's it, isn't it? Gone
I think
forever.
if it had been probably a close relative, it might have been different.
Yeah.
But,
Just be nice if he had some more medals to go with the victory medals. But anyway,
that's all
they're
I
worth a bit of money.
Yeah.
I'm going to put down 10, 20 pounds.
I think they're worth more than £20.
They're not worth a lot more than 20 pounds.
Some more than 20
A little bit more. A little bit more. I'll try one more note. So 30.
No, I think a little bit.
Yeah, I sort of think
Yes.
that if you put them into auction, they're not going to make more than 40, 50, that sort of thing. So you've got to think of the commission that you have to pay at auction.
Definitely.
So if I put another 10 down, Patricia,
Yes.
so you've got 40,
Uh-huh.
you can still gamble at auction, but I think 40 is as much as I want to give you.
A little more?
I think that's it,
No,
really.
I think that's it. I think that sounds very fair.
Okay,
Yes, I will
we've got a
accept
deal.
the 40.
All right, thanks very
Thank
much
you,
for bringing them
James.
along.
Thank you.
I'll have to find a
Pleasure.
home for them now. That Patricia had a silver tongue, didn't she? She's talked me out of 40 quid, but I suppose it's all right, really. I might make a tiny profit if I'm lucky.
Oh, cheer up, James. A profit's a profit after all.
You probably wonder how we value all manner of different items. It's very simple. We have a team of independent valuers. They check and inspect every single item before it's placed in front of our dealers, and it's their independent valuation that you see coming up on your screen.
It's back to Debbie's table where her next item awaits. The Duke and auctioneer Simon Bauer have taken a keen interest as they've spotted a very famous signature.
I'm hoping to get £600 upwards, but I'd do a bit of haggling with her. Yes, hopefully.
Oh, Betty, we love a bit of a haggle on this show.
Betty.
Hello.
Thanks for coming on the show.
You're welcome.
And you brought with you this Lowry print. Tell
That's
me about
right.
it.
It's called The Contraption, and it's a limited signed edition. It was given to my father-in-law, who's an artist anyway, who knew Lowry. It was bought by his wife, my mother-in-law Nora, and he hated it when she gave it to him. We loved it, so he actually gave it to us. He said, "Here, you have it." So we've had it on our wall. So
do you know how long ago that was?
It must be about 20 years.
Okay. And amazing that they knew the artist.
That's right. My father-in-law was an artist, and he knew Lowry. They used to go to central Manchester, and used to go for coffee in a little coffee house in Manchester.
Let's focus on this. It's not your average print, and this is particularly unusual with this, as you say, it's called the contraption. I like the fact that we've got the impress mark by the printer, but more importantly, we've got Lowry's signature, which is fantastic. And with your story, you have an amazing provenance, which is also a lovely thing to have as a dealer.
I have to say, this has brought a bit of a smile to my face. Are you a Lowry fan?
Sometimes, David, sometimes. But I do like that one.
Yeah.
I do like that one.
I think what's amusing me here, first of all, the contraption sounds absolutely right for this picture. And I've seen quite a few of this type of image, of this man with the bowler hat. Some of the portraits, some of the early portraits have that. How well do limited edition prints do in the sale room? Because originals of Lowry's are now starting to bring huge sums of money.
I think the originals are out of most people's reach, but in general we do very well. It's a good, strong market for the signed prints.
The independent valuers, they've said £400 to £600. Where are you going to go?
Slap bang in the middle. Yeah, I'd say around the 5 mark. You know.
I feel the same. I think it's well worth £500 of anybody's money. Let's see what Debbie, our dealer, puts on the table. It's a great-looking thing.
I'd like to make an offer and see how we go.
Have you got enough money in there?
Have I got enough money? I don't know. I'm not going to tell you that. See how we go anyway. So it's 50. 100.
No way.
You sure?
I'm positive.
Okay. 150.
Keep it coming.
£200.
No.
It's a very definite no, that
Definitely
one.
no. Okay. You're nowhere near. You're not even warm.
Okay.
Well, Betty, I don't know what to say, except there's not a lot of money on the table.
There isn't, no.
I just love this image, the contraption. £400 to £600 is the estimation from the independent valuers. So I think we're a long way out, and unless we get more money, you and I are off to auction with the contraption.
Right, Betty, I don't disagree with any of what David's just said, of course. I'll make you another offer.
Right.
Let's go 250, £300.
No, a bit more?
No. 350, Betty, and I'm out. For me, I'm gambling with something I don't know about.
Right.
But David has advised you may well get a lot more at auction.
Thank you very much, but I think I'll be joining David at auction.
Yeah, well, I've come back. I mean, now certainly quite a bit more money's on the table now, £350 on the table now. Yeah. Because the image is so strong, I'm going to say this is definitely worth a gamble.
Yes, I think I'll take the gamble and go to auction.
You'll
yes, but
have a
thank you
fun
very
day.
much.
No, and thank you for telling us about the story. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
And that you'll be well looked after at the
Thank
auction.
you very
Good
much.
luck, Betty.
Thank you very
Thanks
much.
for coming.
Thanks a lot.
We're shaking hands, Simon. It's over to the sale room. Confident?
Yes, reasonably so.
Well, I feel the same. I think the image is strong, interesting, quirky and different, and I think we've got a really good chance at the auction.
There's a little part of me that's sad that it slipped through my fingers.
The print pedals off to the auction. The Duke is confident. Let's see if he's right.
You came along on the dealer's day with something I think which was very interesting. It was a signed print by, of course, L.S. Lowry. You sat down with Debbie, one of our dealers, and after a little bit of pushing and cajoling, she got up to £350, which I think was a very good price for a signed limited edition. But it's unusual, and because of that, there is a reasonable chance it could do better. Did you think you've done the right thing by turning down £350? Because it was a good offer.
I'm not sure. I don't know.
£400 to £600 is the estimate. The reserve is £400. Is it going to bring the money on the day? I don't know.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. This is part of the gamble. This is it.
Right, on to the signed Lowry prints now then.
All the buyers here.
Beautiful piece, isn't it? A lot of interest again. Bids from me at £200 to start for the signed Lowry. At 200 bid, 220, 240, 260, 280, 300, £300 I'm bid. In the room at
It's slowed down at 300.
320, 340, 340 bid. Out Simon at 340.
Needs to be a bit more.
In the room at 340, at 340 bid. 360, 360 bid, 380. Wrap it up for me at 400 now. It's worth every penny.
Will you take slightly less if he gives me the nod? He's at 380.
At 380 bid. At 380. Standing the bid, 390 on the phone.
390 on the phone. We're at 400 with the reserve.
Another 10 if you like, Simon, at 400. 410. 410 bid. 410 20. 420 bid.
Two people are battling it out now. The telephone against the room. 440.
At 440. In the room at 450. 450 bid. At 450, hammers up at 450.
The gavel's gone down at £450. It's just round about 397, something like. It's just below £400 you're going home with. A little bit more than you turned down on the dealer's day. Are you happy?
I'm very happy. Got the real deal.
You've got the real deal. What are you going to do with this money? Have you thought about it yet?
I've got 3 little grandchildren that eat a lot of my money away, so
Okay.
go on then.
The usual story, grandchildren are going to benefit from this. £450. The real deal was £396. Now that brought a smile to our face and a relief.
Back to the den and over to Mark's table, where he's been joined by Geraint.
Well, I've had it for 20 years, and I've come here to get these guests 3 figures for it, and I'm hoping for a good real deal.
A little bit of damage on it, but I'm going to try and buy it. Brought me in a very nice ring here. What's the history behind it?
It was handed down to me by my grandfather, and his father owned it before that, and nobody in the family likes it anymore. So I thought, sell it.
Do you know anything about the ring? What it's made of, how it's constructed?
Well, my grandfather was born in 1902, so it could be from the turn of the century, and that's all I know.
It's made of tiger's eye. Now, if we look at the ring, if we take it out, and we hold the ring here, and if we move it, can you see the colour change? Can you see the colour just here? It's going very kind of golden.
It is, yeah.
You know, and it goes right the way across. Well, this is a very popular stone. When we turned the century, it was used more in the 20th century than it was in the 19th century. And also how the ring is constructed, I mean, how it's put together. And also, there's no hallmark on this.
True.
And I believe it to be 9 carat, which is kind of unusual, really, because you would have thought it would have been 15 or 18, but it isn't, because the colour, the depth of the colour is definitely 9. I've noticed one little piece of damage on it. It's only slight, but it does happen on a lot of these rings. Because it's a reverse intaglio, whereas the intaglio is on the outside, so you've got the head of probably one of the Greek gods here, and I think your grandfather's just caught it, and if I look with my glass, just below the eye and where the nose is, just a little chip. I mean, it's nothing major, but it is there.
Okay.
You know, and the collectors and people who buy these rings, they really want them perfect. Having said that, it's got a look to it. So really, I mean, the only thing left to do, possibly, is to put some money on the table.
Yep.
Okay. 20, 40, 60, £80. Before you say anything, here comes David.
Now, let me just pronounce this right. It's Geraint.
It is.
Okay. Usual. Right, Mark. Interesting. Quite nicely carved. The independent values, they've gone 120, 150, 150, 170. At the moment, we need a little bit more from Mark. He's normally generous, and I'm sure if you smile at him, we will get a few more quid from him.
Right, well, you heard from David there, and there's £80 on the table. I'm going to put another 20 on to make it £100 go, but that is going to probably be where I want to be with this ring, purely because, number one, the damage, but you do have the option to go to auction. Sure. So what would you like to do?
We've got a deal.
That's lovely. Thank you very much for bringing it in. Thank you. think I might struggle to get any real profit. I think £10 and I'll be happy.
Coming up.
If you flash your eyes, you might get lucky, and you might just get a little tiny bit more.
But will James flash the cash? Find out after the break. Welcome back to Dickinson's Real Deal from the historic city of Bangor in North Wales. It's back to the wheeling and dealing.
Brought along a time clock. Don't really know what expectation I'm going to get. Maybe 150 quid, hopefully, towards buying a new bar top for my bar.
So it's time for a natter with Janice.
I'm Janice.
I'm Chris.
Hi, Chris. Nice to meet you. And what have you brought for me today?
It's a clock and in clock from the Bellevue pub down the road.
Yep. And is that your pub?
Yeah, I just bought it like about 4 months ago.
Yep. So you brought it here today. It is a clocking in clock. It's marked from the Gledhill Brook Time Recorders Limited, and it says Huddersfield, Halifax, London and Birmingham. So that was where it was made. We have a bit of a problem in that the top part of it is locked, and we're not sure where the key is.
Yeah.
We've spoken to the auctioneer, who does feel that he'll have a key somewhere that will allow him to access it, so we can check whether the clock's working. I know this part is working. Press that down.
Yeah.
But we don't know what state this clock is in.
Okay.
And to be fair to both of us, really, I think it's probably better if it goes to auction, you can access it with the key, open it up, look at inside, because there are all different bits of mechanisms actually in there. And so I think if that's all right with you, I would recommend taking this to the auction room.
Yeah, okay.
Is that all right?
That's fine.
Okay, brilliant.
Thank you.
Thanks
Cheers.
very much, Chris.
Bid 75.
Will auctioneer Simon Bauer find that key and be able to shift it on? Over to the Duke, who has some news.
250, 260.
Now, on the dealer's day, you brought along an item that I haven't seen for many, many years. When I was a 15-year-old apprentice in a factory, I used to have to clock in with one of these and clock out at the end of the day. Now, you brought along an Edwardian example of a time clock. Now, when you brought it along, there was no key with it, and we were never sure if it worked or not. The auctioneer has now found the key. We've been able to unlock the mechanism, and it's in working order. So hopefully that's going to help it. So where did you get the time clock from?
From the pub I bought.
So you bought a pub?
Yeah.
And the time clock was there?
Yeah.
Was that used for staff who came on duty and clocked in or clocked out?
I don't know, it may have been at one point, but it was more just on the wall.
OK. It's coming up now. There is a reserve of £100 on it. Is it going to make the 100 quid? I think it's got a good chance. Let's see what happens now.
It's the lovely clocking in machine. We've got the key for it now. It's all opened and all the work seems to be clicking away. Start now on him. 150, £100 on him. Where you like to start then? The clocking in machine. £50 I've got. Low start at 50 bid.
I tell you what, that's low.
80, 90, 100 at £100 I bid.
It's at 100. That's the reserve.
Potentially. 110. 110 bid, 120. At 120 bid. I like 30 now then. In the back.
120.
130. 130 bid.
Just in time.
140. Still in the back at 140. 140. Are we 50 now then? Hammers up at 140 and sold.
140 quid, something that you took off the wall in a pub that you've bought. What do you think about the result?
It's great, I'm really happy.
There is some commission and a little bit of that to take off, and I think you're going to be going home with about 123 quid. On the day, £140 for the Edwardian time machine. You're taking home 123 quid. Real deal, and you've still got the pub.
The items are still coming in thick and fast here in Bangor. Let's go for gold.
If I can buy it for a few quid below scrap value, I'll have a go.
Come on, James, you know you want to.
Hello.
I'm James.
I'm Edith.
Very nice to meet you.
Pleasure. Pleasure.
You brought along some jewellery today?
Yes.
What can you tell me about it?
Well, I've had it since I was about 22 or 23.
Well, it's about 10 or 15 years ago.
Oh, gosh. Seemingly. Oh, I'm 89 now.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah. And my hubby bought it for me.
Yeah.
This was a present.
So what's happening? You're selling it because you're fed up with it, or?
No, I don't wear it now.
No, right,
I used to
okay.
wear a lot of, pendants and
Yeah.
what like that, but I don't wear it now.
And if I manage to buy it from you, what are you going to do with the money?
Put it to another holiday.
Another holiday?
Yes.
Where are you going to go?
Well, I like America.
Yeah.
I like to travel.
You like travelling?
Yes.
Okay.
Anywhere, really.
So all contributions gratefully received?
Exactly. Thank you.
So I looked at it earlier, and it's 9 carat, isn't it?
I think so. I'm not sure.
I think it's 9. Yeah.
Yeah. How old is it then? Do you know?
It's hard to say. I should think it's probably 1900-ish.
Is it?
But it doesn't have a huge value as a piece of jewellery.
No.
And I think these days it'll be melted down, and then maybe something beautiful will be made out of it.
Yeah.
So, money on the table.
Okay.
See if I can buy it from you. We'll put one of those down. Oh, no, don't. You're getting ahead of yourself, Edith.
No.
I'm going to put 2 of those down as a start.
Yeah.
And then I get to put one of those and one of those. 130.
I was hoping for more.
You were hoping for a lot more or a little more?
A lot.
A lot? Oh, dear. I can only do a little more.
What
Shall
do you call a little?
Shall we try it? I'll put another one of those down. So 140.
I was hoping.
For more?
Go on, Edith. What were you saying? You were hoping for what, darling?
A little more.
A little more.
I don't know what I'm doing here because I think Edith can look after herself very, very well indeed.
Absolutely.
Let me tell you what the independent valuers and the auctioneers say. They say somewhere between 120 and 170. Now, £140 is on the table. Now, this is a good lad, a generous lad.
Yes.
Is he thinking of giving a touch more for a senior citizen? I don't know, but...
a world traveller as well.
A world traveller and a senior citizen. So I'm going to leave you in safe hands here. I know you're with the right person. I'm going to say it's a good offer. If you flash your eyes, you might get lucky, and you might just get a little tiny bit more. But either way, it's a good deal.
Thank you. Thank you.
So there we are. What do you think, Edith?
A little bit more.
Tiny bit more. Tiny bit more. There we are. That's it now. 150.
Yes.
All right, you happy?
Yes.
Very good. Thank you very much for bringing it. Have a lovely holiday.
Thank you so much.
You can think of me when you're having your first drink.
I will. I'll give a toast to you.
I've been sweet-talked again out of 150 quid by a dear old lady. I think she deserves it, though. And, I can make 10 or 15 quid out of it, so I think we're all happy.
Top work, Edith. And you've even managed to put a smile on James's face.
£80.
Coming up, the auction is blown away.
A vertical hot air engine. There's lots of hands in the air here. This is rather surprising.
280, 300.
It's rare.
550.
How rare and how valuable? Find out after the break.
Welcome back to Dickinson's Real Deal.
We've seen some top money on today's show. Janice is all fired up for the last deal of the day.
Hello.
Tell us all about it, Janice.
Not sure what it is, not sure what it does, not sure of the value.
You might have your work cut out here, Kevin.
What on earth have you brought me in?
It's a hot air engine.
A hot air
Yeah,
engine?
similar to a steam engine, but it's hot air. It runs off hot air.
And how does it work?
There's a small flame under here.
Yeah.
Just like a wick.
Yeah.
And then that heats methylated spirits up. So travel
Right.
up this pipe here to some small jets. And them jets, you light the jets.
Yeah.
And they heat the top of the piston up,
Oh, right.
forcing the piston to come down.
So it's in full working order?
Yeah, full working order, yes.
Right. And how long have you had it?
30 odd years.
Right, OK. Let's have a look. It looks early 1900,
old.
maybe 1910.
Yeah.
And it's German. It's got a manufacturer's label on the front, Markham and
Yes.
Company. Is that who the maker was?
Yes.
And I assume they're very, very collectible.
Yeah.
But this is an area that, unfortunately, I know very little about.
Yeah.
It looks to be in reasonable condition. I mean, it's obviously been used.
Yes, yeah.
So I will make an offer and we'll see what we can do.
Okay.
What about £40? No, am I way, way, way,
Way
out?
out, yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
okie doke. So if I make that £60, am I anywhere near? No.
Near.
Right, so we've got £80. Am I getting there?
No.
Right.
Still got a long way to go.
I'm going to go to £90, and that's going to be my limit, I think.
Is it? Yeah.
What would you like to do?
It's obvious you don't know what you're buying, do you, really? You're taking
I
a
don't.
chance.
I'm
You're
taking a chance here.
Yeah.
It might be that the auction might be the
Yes.
right place for
Yes,
you.
yeah, I think so, yeah.
Right, Kevin, so you want to take it to auction, is that
Yes,
right?
yes, yes.
Oh, well, good luck.
Okay.
I hope you
Yeah.
do really well at
Thank
auction.
you very much.
It should.
Okay.
It's the best place for it, I
Yeah,
think.
okay.
Look at that.
A few moments ago, we saw Kevin turn down Janice's offer of £90 for his antique hot air engine.
Am I way, way, way,
Way
out?
out, yeah.
Right, auction might be the
Yes.
right place for
Yes,
you.
yeah.
So the auction is the place to be. Over to David.
Now, Kevin brought along with the dealers there a very unusual item. It was the Märklin, which is German, a vertical hot air engine. It has its burner and a very nice base, and it's marked. Where did it come from?
Off my uncle. It was left to me.
So, how old were you when you got this hot air engine?
Oh, about 17 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've used it?
Yes. Yeah.
It works okay?
Yeah, regular.
You sat down with Janice. Now, I don't think Janice really understands what it was about. She offered you 90 quid. What did you think about the 90 quid?
Well, I thought it was worth a bit more than that.
Okay.
I thought it was a fair offer, really, but she didn't know
I
she was
agree
buying.
with you. I think it's worth a lot more than that.
Yeah.
It doesn't look much, but I think it's something which could do well here in the sale room. It's coming up now.
Lovely piece, rare piece, vertical one as well. And bids from me at 180 to start.
Straight in at £180. What a good start. £200.
220, 220 bid, 220 bid, 240.
There's lots of hands in the air here. This is rather surprising.
320, 340, 360, 380, 400.
They like it, don't they? It's rare.
460, 480.
£480. Do you play poker?
No. At 480. Hammers up then. At 480 and sold, we all done.
It's taken me by surprise. You didn't even smile there. £480.
Thank you.
Did you expect anything like that?
No.
I have to say I didn't. I thought it might have made 250, 300, but £480. And then we've got some commission to take off. Somewhere close to £423 that you will be going away with.
Thank you.
What's your first reaction to this?
Very happy.
Any idea what you might do with the money?
Probably spend on the grandchildren.
Okay.
Yeah.
Seems like a good deal to me. It was given to you by an uncle. You're going to spend the money, 423, on the grandchildren, and you had a lot of fun with it when you were a young guy. Now that's got to be the real deal.
That result's blown everyone away. Well done, Kevin. But have our dealers transformed their investments into profit? Only the one item for Janice today.
I don't see enough money on this table.
And poor Janice hasn't seen a profit either. The telescope is unsold. It was also one deal for Debbie.
And he's got a good deal, and I've got a little bit extra with the case.
She split the sovereign and case up, sold them on separately and made a nice little profit. Mr. Stevens had a busier day with 2 purchases.
You're pushing me right to the wire here. You know exactly what they're worth.
He sold the small fish Vesta case on for £70. However, the rest of the collection remains unsold. It was a better story for the gold ring. This was moved on for £150. So how did Grumpy James do today?
She's talked me out of 40 quid. I've been sweet-talked again out of 150 quid by a dear old lady.
Hopefully a profit might cheer him up. He made money on the medals.
I might make a tiny profit if I'm lucky.
Mr. Grumps passed them on for £55. It was profits all round. He also sold the chain on for £180. Come on, James, give us a smile.
We've had a great day here in North Wales. Just look at this crowd. There's been lots of action, lots of buying, lots of selling. That's what I like to see. Don't forget to join me, David Dickinson, next time for Dickinson's Real Deal. See you.